The year was 2007. I languished in front of a black HP laptop in my dorm room, writing a business law presentation that I had to present the next day. It was 11 p.m. and I only had 2 of 20 pages written. My name is Arthur and I am a procrastinator. I ended up going to bed that morning at 4 a.m. I promptly skipped 3 of my classes in order to prepare for this presentation. Some of you may know it as sleeping in. The whole day went by. I got to class, I got to the presentation. At the end of my case study, I looked at a jury of my peers and I looked at my professor and I said, the court decided in favor of Mitsubishi. With a particle of corn stuck in his tooth, my professor looked at me and said, wrong, for the whole class. 30 plus people. There was laughter, snickers, grimacing, sighs, head shakes, and I was devastated. My heart went from my chest into my stomach. It was then that I knew that I had to defeat this demon called procrastination. Here's how I did it, and hopefully it'll help you too if you settle. So what is procrastination? Procrastination is the gap between the time you intend to do something and when you actually do it. So step 1, be aware that you're procrastinating. Take me, for example. I'll walk in my kitchen and I'll see this full of trash. I go, man, that's a nice trash. And I'll take it out later. Be aware that you're procrastinating. A lot of the habits that we have and develop are rooted in our subconscious, and awareness breeds self-accountability, and self-accountability often leads to action. So be aware the next time you put that thing off, the next time you want to do something else instead of doing what you should do. That's step 1. Step number 2, understand your why. Knowing why is half the battle. For me personally, I hate to delay gratification. I love the immediacy of having my needs met. So, if I have to pay a bill, study for a test, do a presentation, I will probably put those things off, or I used to probably put those things off, to the last minute because I'd rather enjoy playing my new Star Wars game on my PS4. Just being honest. So understand your why. A lot of the things we have to do are often unpleasant. Here's a good example. Last fall, I lay in bed, and the lights were slowly dimming, my eyelids were getting heavy, and I said to myself, you should go to Toastmasters, do it. You should go. Just do it, yeah. It's great idea. And then that little demon that sits on your left shoulder climbed up, walked over my shoulder, looked at me, and whispered in my ear, Toastmasters? Why? Public speaking? Boring. So I vacillated for months and weeks, and I talked to myself. I'd be at work, go to Toastmasters. I'd go online and look up clubs, and I'd think it through and say, yeah, I'm going to do it. Then, nah, not important. Till one day I woke up, and my immediate need for gratification in terms of staying in my bed was outweighed by my desire to grow personally. And here I am now. So that's step 2. Understand your why. Step number 3. How many times have you said, I'm going to do something, and said, you know what, now is not the right time? I do that all the time. So the first thing you have to understand is that there is never going to be a right time. The right time is usually now. So one thing to think about that always crosses my mind is, there's a quote that says, the opportunity of a lifetime lasts in the lifetime of the opportunity. You should always act before there is no longer time for you to act. That's something I learned from David Hattell. So that's step 3, act. Do it now, get it out the way. Lastly, step 4, reward yourself. You're taking a big step and doing something that you've never done or that you should have been doing. You need to have a little bit of self-love and a little bit of self-compassion to say, hey, I deserve to be treated well by myself because I'm doing something good for the betterment of me. So here's what I do. I make a to-do list and I rank it from easiest to hardest. And whether I complete the whole list in a day, half, 75%, a quarter, maybe 10% sometimes, I still reward myself. That could be time with video games, time with music, time with photography. I find a way to treat myself, to show myself that I value me and the efforts that I'm putting forth. So reward yourself. It goes a very, very, very long way. But I want to leave you with this. One of my favorite authors, M. Scott Peck, says this: do it, get it out the way, feel the pain, and get it over with. It's the only decent way to live. So you may ask me, you may say, Arthur, what happened with your class? So I ended up getting a C on that presentation. And I had a perfect junior year of undergrad that year, and that was in jeopardy with that C. But with a little bit of action, self-accountability, awareness, and self-love, I ended up getting an A in the class, and I became his teaching assistant for business law 2.
Nice.
My name is Arthur, and I was a procrastinator. Thank you.